It's October 21st, 2021. For the first time ever, Lou called Linda. I was sitting next to Linda, and he had advised her that President Joe Biden, was going to be on CNN doing a town hall, TOWNHALL, which I had never heard of. I was like, what exactly is that? And so she said, it's just where he comes on, and then he takes live audience, like, questions, and then he answers them. I was like, oh. I was like, do they all do that? And she said, no, I don't think so. She said, what? And so I was like, all right. I was like, well, how often does he do it? She's like, you'd have to ask Lou. I don't know. I'm like, all right. So I went downstairs to ask Lou if I could watch his TV and join him for the town hall, which he said I could. I went down 18 minutes too early, so I went for my last umbrella walk, which was a pink umbrella for Victorian Cross, since I walked all day with the black and green one for other service members. So I went down to watch President Joe Biden speak, and there was an interesting, what really stood out for me with, again, short-term memory, doesn't always have carry forward, but there are certain things that pop. One was a question from somebody, Morgan State, Morgan, and then State. Now, as not foreign relations, but as a keen eye, and who is a descendant of somebody who didn't read English very well, being my grandfather, it wasn't his first language. I noticed the use of usually something state is usually the state you're in, without getting into theoretical physics and high sciences, but just for basic linguistical purposes at an elementary school level of not getting into arguments, and preventing arguments if you can. This Morgan State sounds like more, which then goes back to cinema and mansion, and then a more, in like a corporate tax kind of a way, where wealthy and whatever doesn't, whatever, in some, we got climate change to worry about, and real heating up, and time is a factor. And so that was interesting, because I'm not so comfortable with an actual institution being open, but I wasn't sure, I know, if it was just a conversation that was being opened, because I would have no way of cross-referencing at the moment from my one perspective, researching my own tetra, and trying to put it. And then he mentioned something about a Laurelton, I think Laurelton. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's some kind of an award at some kind of university or college. I didn't go to that type of, I was small potatoes, like trade school, almost college. It was not like upper echelon, like, we're really excited and proud of you. It was like, I don't know, go there and see what you can learn. So that's where I went in comparison. So there was no competition, whatever. I mean, it was what it was. Waste of time at this point. Alright, so that happened. So it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. But it was the first time I've really ever heard him speak at length. I think he's a fantastic speaker. I mean, he gets his point across. Anderson Cooper was behind him with more of like a bullet point list, I guess, which was nice that he kind of pulled him in just a little bit, if there was a drift. I noticed that. I thought that was an interesting, real honest approach, with being respectful. And then I have to think of one other. Yeah, and I think that's where I'm going to leave it for tonight, was really the Morgan thing. Then a lot of talk about a cinema and a lot of talk about a mansion, which I hear are real people. I just have no idea what they look like. I haven't been exposed to their careers, let's say. In fact, it's the first time I've ever heard the United States of America president speak at length because of what limited exposure I have to the media. And tonight it was aired on something called CNN, which when I was in Patchogue I had access to. Here I don't have the control of the TV, so unless somebody invites me to sit down, I would have no idea that the United States president was even on tonight, because there was no mention during daytime television that he was even going to be on speaking tonight. Just so we're clear how the major broadcast networks in New York are handling their communication with the President of the United States, and his office, from Washington, D.C. Let's think about this. Right, so I actually have to put my son to bed now, so I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. Not because I didn't want to, it's just that's the routine for my son, my youngest son. Yeah, and that's it. *1978, *8378, Nicole Cattaruzza.